Hey guys, what's going on? This is Eric Garcia for Mobile User Experience for the December 2013 term. In this video, I'm going to give you a brief overview of the application prototype that I've created, as well as the survey and the usability feedback that I got from that survey. So here we go. I have an application titled it Meals a la carte. It's basically a shopping list and recipe app all in one. And you can also throw in any other type of checklist that you have, and I added a section for to-do lists. But as you can see here, that's obviously a work in progress, and this would take you to the to-do section. So you could either OK or cancel and go back to where you're at. But as you can see here, there's just a very simple grocery list app at this point, where you have sections, obviously for the bakery, meat, produce, whatnot, to where you can add different items. And when you add items, obviously that drops away, and it'll show up a dialog box here with the keyboard to put in, obviously, the title of the item if you want to add peanut butter or whatever to that, as well as a category which is covered up by the keyboard. And being the prototype that it is, you can't really see anything under that. But there's other sections for quantity and price if you wanted to put in that as well. And then from here, you could either obviously save that item or cancel it. Either way, both of them are going to take you back to the shopping list without adding it. And then you can go into the recipe section, and obviously you'd have a list of a bunch of recipes that you can accumulate over the years. And the only one working right now is the meatloaf, which would flip over and show you the ingredients as well as the directions. And I want to implement something in the future, so I could have added a add to shopping list button, to where it would add all the ingredients automatically to your shopping list if you wanted to make that recipe, for the week or later that day or whatever. And you'd have all the stuff back there. And when you're in here, I didn't add the functionality to use these, but go back to your recipe list and it'll flip back over. So that is the pretty much the gist of the prototype. And then I just created a little Google Forms for everyone to fill out with the 4 simple questions. Overall impression of the application. Overall, they were all in about the 4 to 5 range. Everyone was, interested in the idea and thought it was useful, which goes down to the last question is, would you find an app like this useful? Which I think all but one said yes, and one of them was a possible. But overall, the impressions of the app were good, as well as, people liked the idea of the app and would find it possibly useful for them. And as far as using the layout, surprisingly, it worked really well. And one girl I tested it with actually had an iPhone, so she was definitely familiar with the user experience that she was expecting. And I kind of was getting ready to walk her through and tell her, basically walk her through the prototype. But she instantly started clicking through and going through it just fine. So she definitely thought that the cues and the icons and everything worked well, and she knew what she was doing going through the app. And then I just left a blank text field for them to contribute. And here you have all the responses. Like I said, with the 4 to 5s, pretty much everyone agreed that it was, usable. They understood the layout. And the main consensus or issue with the app was the background color overpowering, which actually the instructor alluded to when grading my prototype as well. And I definitely agree. I should probably just cut out the green and get a different color for the main background, and just have maybe another tie-in color with it that's a little more subtle and not so in your face. And then I had kind of conflicting responses on the type font. One person said they liked it, that it was clearly big and legible, even not far away, and that's how they would use it while they were shopping. Whereas another one didn't take to the font too well, and said they actually wanted to change the colors and the font. So that was my prototype and my user feedback with that, guys. Have a great night, and I look forward to this upcoming week.